to the Top of the Morning Show. It's your girl, TT from the D. Are you guys ready for a thankful Thursday? Are you ready for an amazing weekend? I like to say it's Friday Eve. Thursday is Friday Eve, right? But this morning, we're going to talk about, this week, we've been kind of focusing on relationships, if y'all noticed. So Monday, we talked about 17 things that men needed to know about their wives. I was talking to my married people. And then we talked about the difference between communication and conversation on Tuesday. And then yesterday, we flipped the script, 17 things that ladies should know about their husbands, right? I'm focusing on relationships. Well, this morning, we're going to talk about 6 common reasons couples break up, even if they really love and care for each other. I know you're like, how does that work? Yeah, I know. Because breakups, they can be bad, they can be hard, but sometimes they're necessary. If you are not growing together, if you just drag one another down, or if you care and there's a friendship there, you're going to say, you know what, we're not going anywhere. We're not elevating. I don't feel the way I used to feel. It's not that you have your eyes set on someone else or somebody else has your attention. It's simply that you've grown apart. And unfortunately, sometimes people do. Now, there was a psychologist I found when I was looking on a website a couple days ago. They were talking about common reasons that relationships end. And a lot of them have what they're becoming incompatible. So this morning, we're just going to talk about 6 reasons, 6 common reasons at that people tend to break up. Number one, they ignored incompatibilities early in the beginning. You knew that wasn't your person. You knew she wasn't her, and you knew he wasn't he. No, seriously, in the beginning, you remember the little flags where you felt like, I could get past that, though. He's a great guy. I can get past that. She's a great girl. I can get past that, right? But you're still going and you're not getting past it. Whatever you were fighting about then, you probably still fighting about now. I know that sounds crazy, because you might be like, we've been disagreeing about this for 10 years. I went to breakfast the other day to pick up a carryout, actually, to pick up the breakfast. And I was ear hustling because I was in line at the counter waiting on my food. And the gentleman was on his ear pods, right? And he was talking to his girlfriend. And he was like, you made me lose a friend that I had since elementary school. That was from Germany, because your insecurities. And now you're insecure about my friends that are here and my children. And my children are there's nothing we can do about that. He was like, so you're going to have to figure out a way to deal with what you're dealing with. So I can't hear what she's saying, of course. But he was like, yeah, okay, so you said several times you have expensive things in your house. Okay. So I was thinking, like, damn, like, do your kids steal? Are they kleptomaniacs? I mean, because if she had to say it a couple times, because he said it, you said it a couple times, so I don't know. I don't know. I'm asking for the people. I don't know. But seriously, if a couple can't face those differences and difficulties in the beginning, what makes you think that getting married is going to fix it? It's not we're married now, so it's going to be fixed and resolved. It doesn't work like that. And so if you decide, well, you know what, we probably will work it out. You probably should try to work that thing out before you jump the broom, get married, right? But other than that, I don't know. I don't know. That's a flag, and that's one you got to deal with. When you get married and you have a child that is not, a child in a relationship, you bringing it together like a blended family or something on that nature, then it's kind of like, yeah, we really got to do this. And if you got to examine all of that. And that brings me to number 2. They're not aligned on big things such as money, kids, right? Money or kids, I should say. If you have children from outside relationships, or if sometimes, here's one, oh my God, what if one of you don't want a child? And what's so sad, and I've seen it happen, and I'm like, oh my God. One of you want children and the other one doesn't. And the one that doesn't just says, oh, you know what? It's cool. That's fine. I love you more. You know, we can get a fur baby or something. But a lot of the times, unfortunately, that desire to want to be a father or that desire to want to be a mother, it only increases as you're married and as you're growing and you're building a life together. Then you have to deal with that. That is a strong, strong deal breaker. If you know, like for example, perfect example, although it's not genuine, but it hits home, and that's what I love about Tyler Perry in Sisters. Well, Sabrina wants to have a child. And the guy she was dating, or she is dating, didn't want, he was hell bent on, I love you, I don't want no kids because it, bring this, that, and the third. He had his reasons, right? And she was like, oh, okay, it was cool. And then she decided, I'm gonna be a surrogate. I'm gonna not surrogate, she's gonna get a sperm donor. So she was like, I'm gonna go and get a sperm donor and I'm gonna have a child. And he's like, so you gon', yeah, she's like, I am. My biological clock is ticking. I want a child. I would love to have a child with you, but I respect what you're saying, but you have to respect what I'm saying. And if you don't and you can't deal with that, I understand, and I would hate for us to have to break up, but I'm having a child. And so she went the distance and she was getting ready to, and he finally was like, I'm not going to let another man impregnate my wife or my woman who will probably one day be my wife. She wants a child, I'll give her a child or children, blah, blah, blah. It's not worth me because, she'll be a great mother, blah, blah, blah. It don't always work like that in real life. However, before you get married, you really need to talk about that because that is one thing that will tear you apart. And then the money aspect of it all, yeah, money. If you got a shopaholic, somebody who's always shopping, you like, okay, listen, listen, we gonna go into debt. We're gonna go into debt. And so you got to talk about that. Understand? So you can't run from it. And don't think just getting married gonna make it go away. It's just gonna intensify. Number 3, they don't help each other reach their goals. Beyond getting along with one another, people, it's so important for couples to continuously support one another's goals and dreams. If that means that somebody got to put it on back burner so the other one can elevate and because they need your help, okay, bet, do that. But don't forget, once they do it, now you got to stand down because you got where you had to go. Let her or him get where they need to go. But a lot of times it's like, well, I'm so busy, I can't. And it's like, oh. And studies show the couples who support each other, goals thrive more. There's so many studies out there that show that. But it's you have to continue to grow and pour into one another. And why wouldn't you want to see one another win? Individually win, it makes you win together anyway. But you don't want somebody to sit back and say, I never accomplished my goals and my dreams. And if you're like, you should just give up on that. I mean, you've been trying, and it's like, oh, now you're talking about problems. Oh yeah, you gonna have some problems. Number 4, they changed significantly over time and didn't grow together. Yeah, you see that all the, oh, she outgrew me, he outgrew me. We change and evolve as life goes on. We are not supposed to be the same as we were 5 years ago. And if we are, what's happening? Or better yet, what's not happening? Somebody is not doing something and y'all ain't getting where you need to go. If you can both grow and learn from experiences, that's perfect. That's wonderful. You'll be able to move forward. But if one person grows and the other one doesn't, it definitely can lead you into a different direction and eventually separation. And you might say, nah, that ain't, yeah, it will. Because you're getting pulled into this direction. You're doing what you need to do. You're traveling because your job or your career or whatever it is you're doing, and your spouse is like, dang, what am I gonna do? Hey, first of all, what do you want to do? Let's be clear. Secondly, while they chasing their dreams, I need you to get off your butt and chase yours. That's real, raw and uncut. Number 5, they get into these small tidbits that turn into huge fights because there's a breakdown somewhere in the relationship of a lack of respect for each other's feelings and emotions, right? You have to make sure you compromise and respect one another. Now, we're not going to always agree. Let me say that. My husband told me something way before we were married, and I didn't understand it. It was cute, I thought, but I didn't understand it. And when he broke it down, I'm like, oh. He said, we're not going to always see eye to eye. But what we have to do is agree that we disagree and keep it moving after we've spoke our piece and we're trying to compromise. Okay, we don't agree. Okay, well, let's agree that we disagree, and what's the solution we could do from this point. But we're not going to give in over here, right? Number 6, okay, they can't fully open up around each other. They can't be themselves. Now, I know several couples that are like this in real time. And they love each other. All these couples, they love each other. They got love. They're successful marriages. But one person can be more extroverted than the other and sharing details about how they live other than the introvert does. And it can be different. It's such a difference that it will make them want to open up to other people outside. So a husband might say, yeah, uh, my wife doesn't like me to smoke, but I don't smoke around the house. She don't even know I smoke, but I smoke. Whenever I go out, I smoke and I vape or whatever it is. And it's like, but they can't say that to their wife. A wife might say, my husband don't like me to drink, and I just like to have a glass of wine every now and then. So he doesn't drink and he doesn't think I drink, but from time to time I might stop at a spot and grab me a lunch and grab me a glass of wine, or I might go out with my girlfriends, have dinner or whatever, and I'll get a glass of wine and that's it. And but it's like that you think something so simple is so simple, but it can lead to problems because let's just say you're out with your girlfriends, right? And your girlfriends may not know that your husband don't know. Ladies, I'm talking to you. They may not know that your husband don't know that you drink wine, right? And so when they come over to visit one day, or they come over and y'all might have a little dinner gathering or whatever, and they bring a bottle of wine. And then let's just say your husband opens the door and you're like, oh, I'm still getting ready, blah, blah, blah. And then they come in and like, hey, I brought a bottle of wine. And it's like, oh yeah, we don't drink. I don't drink. They're like, oh, I know, but so I noticed she enjoyed this wine when we were at dinner the other day, so I went back and I grabbed the bottle. Now, he may not say so, he may smile and keep it going, and through dinner be looking like, When they leave, y'all gonna have that conversation. Hey, honey, you know, I didn't know that you started back drinking. Maybe you stopped drinking, or maybe I didn't know you drink. I didn't know you drink wine. I thought you didn't drink wine. Well, now you got to say, well, from time to time, I know you don't drink. And, so now, as small as that is, he could say, if you didn't tell me this, what else you didn't tell me? Or if you do this with your friends and not around me, what else are you doing that you're feeling more comfortable? You understand how that can go? You're right. And they're looking like, okay, if you're not wanting to share this, then maybe I ain't the one. Now you got problems. Over time, one or both people might realize there are more aspects of themselves that they don't feel comfortable sharing or expressing or exposing, and that definitely can lead to y'all breaking apart. And I know it seems simple, but you see, it could turn into something ugly. So I would just implore to just work on y'all. Continue to work on y'all. Y'all can say, we don't got these problems. Great. Wonderful. I'm happy. But there are couples that do. Work on it. If your marriage is worth saving, if your relationship is at a point that you feel like you're going to take it to the next level, which is marriage, work on it now. Don't wait till you get married to try to work on it. And if you're married, Don't wait till you got to get to counseling and thinking about going to divorce counseling and uh, work on it now. Well, that's all I got for you on this Thankful Thursday. Until the next time we leave footprints across the sun, it's your girl, Titi from the D, and I'll see you soon.